Ethan Wells awoke with a gasp, his heart pounding in his chest. Sweat slicked his skin, clinging to him like a second layer of grime. He could still feel the remnants of his dream, a haunting echo in his mind. The familiar weight of the city pressed down on him, the air thick with the stench of ozone and desperation. It was as if the city itself was alive, breathing down his neck. His dreams, vivid and unsettling, clung to the edges of his mind, shimmering cities that scraped the sky and beings of pure light waging war across the stars. These visions felt more real than the world he woke up to. Ethan lived in New Shanghai, a sprawling testament to humanity's technological prowess and spiritual bankruptcy. The city was a maze of steel and neon, a place where dreams and nightmares intertwined. Towers of steel and glass clawed at the smog-choked sky, their neon veins pulsing with a cold, artificial life. The city was a living entity, a beast of metal and light. The inhabitants, lost in the digital deluge of their own making, shuffled through the crowded streets like ghosts in the machine. They were prisoners of their own creation, trapped in a never-ending cycle of consumption and distraction. He spent his days lost in the digital ether, a data miner sifting through the endless stream of information that flowed through the city's veins. It was a job that required precision and detachment, qualities Ethan had in abundance. Tonight, however, the usual numbness that cloaked his senses felt different. There was a crack in the facade, a sliver of something raw and real. His dreams had stirred something deep within him, a primal fear mixed with a strange sense of longing. It was as if the dreams were trying to tell him something, to show him a truth he had long forgotten. As he stepped out onto the fire escape, the city's cacophony washed over him. The noise was a constant reminder of the life teeming below, a life he felt increasingly disconnected from. 1,000 neon signs screamed for his attention, their garish glow reflecting off the rain-slicked streets. The city was alive, but Ethan felt like a ghost, drifting through its neon canyons. The next day, Ethan found himself drawn to the city's underbelly, to the forgotten districts where the neon glow of progress faded into darkness. He wandered through labyrinthine alleys, the stench of decay heavy in the air. The people here were different, their eyes holding a spark that had long since been extinguished in the inhabitants of the glittering towers above. He stumbled upon a dilapidated tea house, its paper lanterns casting flickering shadows on the grimy walls. An old woman, with eyes that seemed to hold the wisdom of centuries, sat behind a chipped porcelain counter. "You seek answers, young one," the woman said, her voice a low rasp. Ethan looked up, startled. He hadn't spoken a word, yet she had seen through him, peering into the depths of his soul. "The truth is a dangerous thing, young one," she said, her voice barely a whisper. She directed him to a hidden lab in the bowels of the city, a place where renegade scientists and hackers toiled away in secret, far from the prying eyes of the authorities. The lab was a chaotic mess of wires, circuit boards, and flickering monitors, each station buzzing with clandestine activity. In the center of it all sat a contraption that defied description, a swirling mass of liquid metal and pulsing light, casting eerie shadows on the walls. There he met Dr. Lena Hartley, a woman with eyes as sharp as lasers and a mind that burned with a fierce intelligence, always seeking the next breakthrough. She listened intently as he spoke of his dreams and visions, her eyes widening with each passing moment, reflecting a mix of curiosity and concern. "You're not crazy, Ethan," she said, her voice filled with a strange mix of excitement and fear, as if she had been waiting for this moment. She led him to the center of the lab, to the strange device that pulsed and thrummed with an otherworldly energy, almost as if it were alive. It was a portal, she explained, a gateway to a realm beyond their understanding, a place where the rules of reality were different. "This is our only hope, Ethan," Lena said, her voice trembling with emotion, as if the weight of the world rested on this one chance. The world dissolved around him as he plunged into the shimmering depths of the anamnesis engine. Time ceased to exist as he was bombarded with a kaleidoscope of images and sensations. He saw a time when humanity had touched the stars, their civilization a beacon of hope and progress. He saw the beings of light, their forms shifting and shimmering, their power beyond comprehension. He saw the war, the betrayal, the exile. And then he remembered. He remembered who he was, where he came from, and why he had been sent here. He was not just Ethan Wells, the insignificant data miner. He was something more, something ancient and powerful, something that had been dormant for far too long. He was a guardian, sworn to protect humanity from the forces that sought to destroy it. He emerged from the anamnesis engine, his mind reeling, his body buzzing with newfound energy. The world looked different, sharper, more real. The news spread like wildfire. Across the globe, people were awakening to their true heritage. Memories long suppressed were resurfacing, bringing with them knowledge and abilities that defied explanation. The world watched in awe and terror as individuals began to exhibit extraordinary powers, bending the fabric of reality itself to their will. Governments scrambled to maintain control, their authority crumbling in the face of this unprecedented event. The lines between friend and foe blurred as those who had once held power found themselves outmatched. Ethan, now fully aware of his own dormant abilities and purpose, found himself at the heart of this global awakening. He could feel the echoes of his forgotten past resonating within him, guiding him toward a destiny he was only beginning to understand. He needed allies, others like him who had awakened to their true potential. He needed to unite them before it was too late. His search led him to the fringes of society, to the hidden pockets of resistance that had long opposed the powers that be. He found them in the shadows of the megacities, in the forgotten corners of the digital underground. They were hackers and activists, artists and rebels, all united by a common desire for a better world. They called themselves the Reclaimers, and they had been fighting for generations to expose the truth and reclaim their stolen heritage. They welcomed Ethan with open arms, recognizing him as one of their own. He learned of the prophecy, whispered through the ages, of the day when the exiled would rise again to reclaim their birthright. But the path to freedom was fraught with danger. The forces that held humanity captive were vast and powerful, their tendrils reaching into every aspect of their lives. They were the architects, beings of pure energy and information, who viewed humanity as nothing more than a resource to be exploited. Ethan and the Reclaimers faced constant surveillance, their every move monitored, their communications intercepted. They were hunted relentlessly by the architects' minions, cybernetically enhanced soldiers and ruthless mercenaries. They fought back with everything they had, utilizing their ingenuity, their courage, and their newfound abilities to outmaneuver their enemies. They launched daring raids on government facilities, exposing the truth to the masses and inspiring others to join their cause. Each victory came at a cost. Friends and allies lost, their lives cut short by the brutal efficiency of the architects' forces. Despite the losses, the spirit of rebellion burned brighter than ever. The Reclaimers' message resonated with the people, igniting a spark of hope in a world consumed by darkness. Uprisings erupted in cities across the globe as the oppressed rose up against their oppressors. The digital matrix, once a tool of control, became a weapon of liberation, its vast network used to spread the truth and rally the masses. Ethan, hardened by battle and driven by a righteous fury, became a symbol of hope for the downtrodden. They were the descendants of a proud and powerful lineage, and they were ready to reclaim their birthright. The final battle was fought not on Earth, but within the digital matrix itself, a sprawling landscape of data streams and virtual constructs. This was a realm where reality and imagination intertwined, creating a battlefield unlike any other. It was a battle for the soul of humanity, a struggle for the right to determine their own destiny. The stakes had never been higher, and every move, every decision carried the weight of the future. Ethan, leading the charge, his powers fully unleashed, faced the architects, their digital forms shimmering with malevolent energy. He was the beacon of hope, the symbol of resistance against the oppressive digital overlords. The battle raged for what felt like an eternity, a chaotic clash of light and sound, of code and consciousness. Each side pushed to their limits, the digital realm itself trembling under the intensity of their conflict. But in the end, it was the indomitable spirit of humanity that prevailed. Their resilience, their unyielding determination, proved to be the ultimate weapon. The exiled, united in their purpose, their powers amplified by their collective will, shattered the architect's hold on their reality. Together, they were unstoppable, a force of nature within the digital cosmos. With the architects vanquished and the digital matrix under their control, the path to Earth lay open. The once impenetrable barriers had fallen and the way home was clear. The Reclaimers, their ranks swollen with newly awakened exiled, boarded a fleet of ancient starships. These vessels, relics of a bygone era, now symbolized their journey back to their origins. As they ascended through the atmosphere, leaving behind the digital purgatory that had held them captive for so long, they looked down upon the Earth, their home, their birthright. The sight filled them with a renewed sense of purpose and hope. They were the Reclaimers, and they had come home. Their journey had been long and arduous, but their resolve had never wavered. Now they stood ready to reclaim their world and their future.